Now we'll head to Google and type Apply Online Siena and click the University of Siena, which will take you to the website portal. And on the website portal, on the left, you will see Find Program. So click on Find Program. Type in the program that you want to study, either a bachelor's or a master's. Then it shows whether it's second cycle, first intake, second intake. So the first intake is the application period between September to December, and the second intake is the application period from January to May. However, the study intake begins in October. So both those who applied in September to December and those who applied in January to will begin their studies in October. And then you can also select the language for the program, either both Italian or English or just English, depending on which language you prefer or you want to study in. And then click on Apply. The next page is New Applicant. So you are registering for the program. So you click on New Applicant and type in your email as a new applicant. Once you receive an email alert, you click on the link and remember your code within that email, because you need to enter that code. After clicking on the link, it will redirect you to the website, the university website. There you can fill in your email address and create a password as login details, as well as your code which was sent to your email. Upon filling in your login details, it takes you to the page where you have to now fill in your personal details. So your name, surname, the country where you're applying from, or your citizenship. And on the left, you would see that the page shows the tasks that you need or that are remaining for you to do. After entering your personal information, you also need to enter your contact information, your phone number, your house address, your emergency contact as well. You can then go on to education. So for those that have a grade 12 certificate, they can apply for the bachelor's. And for master's students, you need a bachelor's degree transcript, either for 3 years or 4 years, depending on which country you studied from. And then you also see that it indicates the state of studies, whether you have finished or it's still in progress. Then you also need to insert your GPA. For Zambia, our GPA is out of 5.0. So if you don't know how to calculate your GPA, I can do another video on how to calculate the GPA. You also need to click on the type of bachelor's, whether it's a public university that you went to or a private university, and the years of schooling as well, which is from 15 as minimum to 18 or more. So you do 12 years in Zambia, we do 12 years of schooling. That is from grade 1 to 12. And then we have preschool, which has baby class, reception, middle class, amounting to a minimum of 15 years of school. If you have done more than 15 years of school, then you can indicate either 18 or more than 18. Then you move on to the language. So there is the native language, In Zambia, we have about 72 languages. So if you speak Bemba, you can indicate Bemba, Lamba, Nyanja. But I would recommend, since we learn in the English language, just to put English as a native language. And then you have to also include your English language proficiency. So in my case, I would put a C2. You also need to indicate dates of the test when it was done. If you haven't done tests such as TOEFL, but you studied in English, you can indicate that the medium of instruction for your entire schooling period was in English. And for example, at UNZA, you need to get a confirmation of study, which shows that you are proficient enough in the English language. You can also add your employment history if you did any volunteering, any contracts. So if you're still in employment, you can include that. You also need to add the number of hours. So for example, in Zambia, we do 8 hours a day. So 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. That would amount to a total of about 46 hours a week. Then you also need to add the activities. For example, if you do sports, you do music, you can add that. Then you also need to add the residency. So on this part, if you have stayed abroad for an extended period of time, not on tourism or vacation, but for an extended period of time, maybe for studies, or you went to live there for some time, then you can include that. But if you haven't been outside your country or studied abroad, you can skip this part. Next, we move on to the motivation. So you have to type in your motivation, why you have chosen the program that you've chosen, what you expect to gain from the program, and why does your background make you a suitable candidate for this program. How will the program help you achieve your goal, your career? You have to type in the motivation. If you want me to talk about how to write an effective motivation later in the next video, you can just comment and I can help you write an effective motivation later. After you have finished uploading your motivation letter, you can upload the other documents. So the essential documents that you need to upload are the CV, the transcript, the English proficiency, e.g. a TOEFL, whatever test that you have done, and also a copy of your passport or any ID like a national registration card. These are the mandatory documents that you need to apply. The next option is others. So for those who have done, for example, computer science, and you have a portfolio, you can put your portfolio link. If you have any website, you can add that. And then if you have done any medical tests, if you have any additional requests, special needs, you can include that under the medical tests category. And then you can also insert how you found out about the program or about the university. In this case, you can say you found out through my channel. And lastly, you have your checklist, which will show you how far you have gone in your application, if it's correct, if you have checked all the requirements. And then you can submit your application. Upon submitting your application, the proof of payment is required. So it will redirect you to where you need to pay about 40 euros per program for the admission.